Hello and welcome to ERP Today Live. I'm Stephanie Ball. Today we're talking with Laith Jubair, founder and CEO of Axelor, the ERP, BPM and Low Code software vendor, about the rise, benefits and limitations of democratized software tools. Hello Laith, thanks for joining us today. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you. I'm fine. And thanks for this invitation for the interview.
It's great to have you on board. So let's kick things off here with a bit of background to start with about Axelor itself and your expertise in this field. So Axelor is quite a young company, and you've now started to kind of swipe more customer wins from across the big vendor names. So that's including the likes of ServiceNow, SAP, Oracle, Workday, and a host of others, really. And then a big win for you last year was that you saw a 10 million euro funding surge to further boost your growth there. So how did Axelor start with yourself, Laith? And what are the markets that you're entering today?
Yeah. So let's start from the beginning. Actually, I was graduated in 2001. And after a few years of working in several consulting companies, such as Accenture, I started my own company in 2005. It was an IT service company to integrate IT projects. So yeah, through the years and after several years of experience, I have seen all the issues that companies are facing with IT integrations, all the problems, the time it takes. So that's why in 2013, I came up with an idea to have a low-code platform that allowed to speed up greatly business process and business apps creation. So yeah, in 2013, I started this project to build two things. First, to build the low-code platform. At that time, actually, we don't even talk about low-code platform. It was this word that didn't exist at that time, but it was exactly the idea. It was to have something that speed up a lot the projects, IT projects. So to build this low-code platform, and in the same time to build business apps that allow customers to directly use them without rebuilding them from scratch, even if it's low-code platform. And the goal actually it was to create a low-code platform that allowed to do even complex process like ERP process. So yeah, we have the two projects was launched in the same time, the low-code platform and the business apps. And as I had my company already established in IT service, so I used the existing customers to build with them the platform and the business apps, so that I could have the real-time feedback from customers to build this platform. So it started like that in 2013, 14, and we released the first version of the platform and business apps in 2016. And actually, we completely stopped IT service consultancy, the previous business I have doing in 2018. So 2019 was the first year that we completely switched business to this new product. And since that, the company grew fast. So that's why last year we did our first fundraising, about, as you said, 10 million euros. And yeah, we grow up till reaching now about 150 employees. So mainly in France, our headquarters close to Paris. But we also have subsidiaries and markets in Asia, where we have a subsidiary in India, in Africa with a company in Morocco. And since this year, we also established a new subsidiary in Canada, in Toronto, for our North America market. So here is where we are now.
So really growing across the board then. Kind of an exciting time. I guess it's a difficult playing field for a lot of business decision makers out there who are currently looking and having to pick the right software investment. And there will always be that element of risk when it comes to investing these large sums in new technology. And I think someone said recently, the chances are you're not going to get fired from a company if you choose to
Exactly.
install a big name like Oracle, SAP, and investing in a lesser known vendor can have a lot of benefits, but can also leave you in a little bit of hot water if something goes wrong. Is this something that you've seen also with customers coming to Axelor and asking these questions? And why do you think customers are drawn to the low code open source option rather than the traditional big ERP names?
Yeah, that's actually a good question because it's something we really it's a problem that we faced since the beginning because as you said, if you have a CTO or a CFO that select a Microsoft or SAP product, no one will blame them if they fail. But if they select a new product, even if it's innovative, then they are taking a risk, and no one wants to take that big risk, especially that our customers are big customers usually, because when you need this kind of platforms, it's not for the tiny companies where only the CEO would decide, but usually for this kind of companies you have a big team. So the decision making was difficult for them. So how it happens in the beginning? Actually, in the beginning, people or customers were coming by curiosity to see what's the difference, how it can help them. But then when actually not all of them, but some of them, when they can see all the benefits that they can get from this kind of tools, so some of them, they decide to take the risk, meaning by they say, okay, in all case, even with big names, we always hear that some companies and some projects fail. So maybe it even looks less risky to have such agile platform. So some of them took this risk in the beginning, and of course because they see all the advantage and benefits that they can have. So, and of course, with the first customer having success, it was more and more easy to have the other customers by seeing the existing customers that succeeded. So by step, we get in the market in this way, and we were able to provide the right solution for those companies. So now it's less difficult. I have to say, in the beginning, it was really complex to convince them because we had less customers or less use cases to show them. But fortunately now, with time being, we are able to show that it works. So now it's a little bit better to convince them. That's true.
The floodgates have opened a little bit for you there. It all kind of feeds in, I think. There's a bit of almost a low code false narrative going on wherein a lot of companies perceive low code as being quite simplistic solutions. And a lot of other ERP vendors are talking about low code, and they're increasingly integrating low code solutions and tools into their ERP systems. But how does Axelor position itself in relation to other such offerings, and where is the technology headed in the future, do you think?
Yeah. Actually, the market now, there are two separate markets. You have the low code market and low code, no code market, and the ERP market. It's completely different market. So yes, for the problem with the low code market is that it doesn't provide ready to use business apps. It's just a tool that you have to build everything. So when people look for a complete ERP, for example, or complex software such as accounting or stock management, they cannot, even if they have specific use cases that those tools doesn't fit, still it's too complex, too long to create them from scratch. So those low-code platforms can't fit. They cannot answer for complex existing business apps. So that's why usually they try to use the traditional ERP market. And as everybody is talking about low code, no code, so even ERP providers are doing a lot of offering a lot of tools for low code. But the problem I'm seeing is that even those ERP who are adding low code features in ERP, it's still very basic, because it wasn't built with this low code in mind. So yes, you can do few things, few fields to add, things like that, but it can't do complete complex process using low code. For me, the way the other ERP providers who talk about low code, it's only marketing, just to say that it's possible because they know that customers really want and they really need to be able to customize their apps as much as possible. So for marketing reason, they are offering few features, but for me, it's not true low code, it has really to think it from the beginning as a low code platform to be able to really do complex process using low code. While current ERP provider, they are doing this just because they know that customers are looking for that. But for me, it's not true real low code platform, where in our case, since the beginning, actually each feature we developed, new features when we started this project, each feature when we wanted to implement with our platform for ERP, like accounting or a process like that, we updated the platform in real time to be able to do it in low code, So that's why it was built with this in mind since beginning. So for me, it's completely different from what other ERP or other software providers are offering as low code tools, because they can't go as deep as what we are doing.
It's really taking that complexity to a whole new level, isn't it? It's kind of, besting the fact that you can't really do very much with low code tools, and it's all that stuff, kind of surface level ability.
Exactly. Actually, even if we think about the low code provider that they are doing low code platforms, they have more or less the same issue because they are offering maybe CRM or simple business apps, but they are unable to do complex process. So they still can do some of simple use cases, but in our use case, compared to those the other market, I'm talking about the low code, no code platforms, they don't have the business scope, the deepness of the business scopes as we can provide. Because in our case, for the ERP, for instance, we are really going very far, very deep in the business scope as well. So having both going deep, I mean, the low code features, no code features, and at the same time, the business scope, that's very hard. And that's what we are trying to do since 10 years now.
Well, it sounds like you're making a little bit of headway there. So congratulations on that front. One other area that I think is particularly pressing when it comes to this particular topic is reskilling the workforce. So I think as the low-code technology, it's definitely moving us in a really positive direction for democratizing technology use and making ERP and app tools really, really accessible to create a wider access to a range of workers. What does that mean, bringing it back to reskilling the workforce? And does it make it any easier for businesses to understand exactly how the tools can best be implemented for successful outcomes?
Yeah, so I can understand there are two questions: the reskilling of the workforce and the understanding of business people about the IT project. So for the low code, it depends. There is different kind of low code. There is what we call the citizen low code. Anyone can do it. Could be as simple as using Excel or a spreadsheet, I mean. So in that case, yes, anyone can do it. But for more complex business apps, business platforms like the core of the company. You cannot, any user can't do that. But it's true that with some training, you don't need to be a software engineer or an IT engineer to be able to do those kind of complex process or business apps. But still, it will be a lie if I say anyone can do it. No, that's not true. You have to have a real training. But at the end, you don't need 5 years study at engineering school. With few months of serious training, you're able, yes, to build complex business apps using this kind of platform. So that could be helpful, but it needs a true switch to those employees. However, if you take into account the existing IT engineers, for them, the goal is not to be able to, compared to employees to do it without coding. The main goal and the main advantage is that it helps them to go much faster and with less errors. This is a huge benefit, because usually when we talk about low code, no code, we think about citizen users that will be able to do their apps easily. Yes, that's true in some cases, but for more complex projects, the real advantage, the real benefit is for IT engineers that can understand the background and the back end of those tools and how it works fast, so that it can increase their productivity a lot. And this is the real benefit for this kind of platforms. The productivity that it gives to those IT people to go much faster with much less errors to build this kind of business apps. So for me, the benefits is more here. In our case, but still, yes, for other business consultant or employees it's true that low code, even if they don't do it themselves, they can more easily understand it. Why? Because it's visual. Like for instance, we are integrating the BPM convention, which is a graphical notation that allows to draw business process. For this example, the IT can draw it with the business analyst, so both can understand exactly how the process will run, and then the IT people can complete the configuration and implement it fast so that it can work. So yes, this is another true benefit of low code, is to allow business analysts and IT people to understand each other much faster and to implement business process faster by having both kind of population or people to understand the same process. So yes, it's, you see, there is two kind of advantage depending on how you see it. For IT people, it can increase, for me, the benefits I'm seeing. For IT people, it will increase speed of integration of IT projects, especially complex ERP projects. And for business analysts, to more easily understand what's the features that are implemented and how it will be implemented. I hope it's clear.
That's clear. And that's especially, you think, in comparison to the likes of ServiceNow or the likes of,
yes,
I guess, more ERP-based systems with Oracle and SAP.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Okay. And I guess, what are some of the, if you're a business, I guess, coming to Axelor, coming to another open source platform, looking for the best ways they can start to implement this technology, what are some of the lowest hanging fruit for businesses when you've seen them kicking things off with low code?
Yeah. So the thing is that, again, the biggest benefits is that when they need in any company, they have a lot of process to implement. So what's happening in this kind of platform is that they have the existing apps. They can just install it and use it directly without any customization. And beside this, it will work seamlessly with new with new apps that they are building that directly communicate with the existing apps. So in that case, they are having the, let's say, the best of the two worlds, means the existing apps that I can turnkey and use it directly, and creating their specific business apps, custom apps that they cannot find directly in the market. So yeah, what's happening is that usually when you buy a software and you use it, if one day you have some complex process or specific process that these apps cannot do, it's a big issue. Why? Because then you need to replace it or buy another, migrate. It's a big deal. It's a big risk for companies. So what's happening here is that this risk is avoided in this case, because if a business apps doesn't exist, or if it doesn't fit exactly the way the companies are working, then they just need either to customize the existing business app with the low-code platform, or even to create new one that communicate with the existing apps. So in that case, they are securing their project much more than regular softwares, where you think you may buy a software, you are working on it, and you think it will fit your needs, but maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months, or even a few years later, the company process change, and then they can be stuck in that case, and the complexity of migration of tools. So yeah, the risk is big. So yeah, the big advantage is that what we say, it's future proof, so that the companies know that in all cases, if the market change, their process change, they will always be able to fit their needs and apply quickly and update quickly their information system and process depending on the company and the market needs. So that's, I would say, the main advantage.
Brilliant. Well, it's been a great discussion today, Laith. We've run out of time for this session, but thanks so much for joining us today. And thank you everyone at home for watching ERP Today Live. Goodbye for now.